Coming up on this episode, I talk to will.i.am in an exclusive interview about Mercedes' new sound drive technology,
My future music are just going to be drives.
his ridiculously cool car collection, and how he goes about a project like building a custom car.
So when I was working on the Tesla AMG logo,
Plus, his relationship with Lewis Hamilton, Abu Dhabi 2021, and Hamilton's secret talent.
seriously, I've been in the studio with him. Lewis is an amazing singer.
My name's Alex Harrington. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Let's get into the interview. First of all, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you being on camera. And congratulations on Sound Drive. Now, I found this really interesting. I think a lot of people will, because music's become such a subconscious part of driving. I think we all love a good driving song to get the heart pumping. But first of all, I want to talk about the tech. Tell me a bit about it, and how did this idea of blending music and driving come about?
Well, to your point that you just made, driving and music has been related ever since they put the radio in the car.
Yeah.
The drive is alive, but the music is captured. Meaning, most you can do is turn the volume up. And with today's technology, why is that a limitation? That the only thing you can do is turn the volume up or pause it? Maybe put it on shuffle or repeat. And when it repeats, does it really, truly repeat in a seamless loop? No, it doesn't. Why? And so, tech that's allowing for an expressive, immersive, interactive music experience is we took all the sensors, the accelerometer, the gyro, the acceleration, the brake, the suspension, the steering wheel, and GPS. And those sensors are being fed to a DAW, a sort of DAW, a digital audio workstation. And the sensors are altering, reconfiguring music, sounds. Eventually, we'll be creating songs from scratch. And our architecture is where the smart is at. Like, what happens when you come to a stop? What happens when you accelerate? How does it do it in a way to where you don't get bored of the same instant? So it's always in a malleable state to where it's not repetitive. No drive, no song will ever be the same experience every single time. It's like a drive is not the same drive. If you take the same route every single day, you're not stopped at the stop sign the same amount of seconds. You're not turning the same radius every single time. The bump or the swerve, it's not the same all the time. But you don't really notice it because nothing's ever captured it just so you could see the nuance and the difference. There's no color. So you don't really pay attention to the ever so slightly alterations on your commute. And now with the system, you're able to curate, create, alter, enhance, dimensionalize your music experience. And it's great not only for the driver, it's great for the creator of music. Now, the creative community has a broader way to imagine. What do I want my music to feel like when people are stopped? How do I want the song to behave when people take off from a stop? What type of elements do I want to add to the song when people brake? When people pass a certain coordinate, or what type of Easter eggs or unlocks can I put on the earth for people to experience? Okay, it opens up. Instead of just saying, hey, I want to make this song aimed at TikTok. Ooh, I want to make sure my song has no skip rate. Let me put the chorus in the beginning. And I want it all to happen in 2 minutes. That is what music has reduced itself to where you're thinking algorithmically and thinking in a 2 minute. 3 minutes is too long. The skip rate not going to allow your record to perform. Like, really? My imagination is only supposed to fit in 2 minutes, and this copy copycat, you know, carbon copy cookie cutter song structure is the only thing that is left. Move. And so sound allows folks to expand their imagination and dream up other ways of creating delight. Why? Because people drive every single day. There's millions of cars on the street in every single city, every single day. And there's a whole new way that creators can create for that. So Sound Drive is not only a driver's experience, we also have a creator's tool for people to define how they want the song to unfold, and a simulator to simulate drives so that when people drive, it's exactly like your simulation and your unfolding.
Yeah, I love that. It's all about tearing down those limitations, I feel. With EVs, they all have these sounds that are programmed into them. And they're not like engines, that you don't have individual engine sounds, even like between the same car. So I love that. You kind of linked it to your music, having to limit your music to 2-3 minutes. Are we going to hear any of these kind of audio samples from your driving style in any of your future music?
I would like to answer that this way. My future music are just going to be drives.
Okay.
Opposed to thinking like, yo, I'm going to make songs for limitation. I'm going to make songs for abundance and expansion. And then what could come from that, maybe that version that people are TikToking came from Samantha's drive to work in Orange County that week. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Samantha's or Robert's or Jamal's or Sunil's or Melissa's or Mitchell's drive to work is the one that people are freaking vibing on TikTok.
Yeah.
A drive for millions of people to escape to or, dive into while they're driving. Sorry, drive into while they're driving. A whole traffic jam.
Brilliant. That's the headline right there. Because I mean, when I was reading about this technology, I was just thinking, how cool would it be to attach this technology to like Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes, and you can get like a symphony of his year. Do you think something like that could be possible?
Oh yeah, easily.
Okay, so I know you've had a long partnership with Mercedes. You've had the Flip, the really cool like AMG based car. Are you going to expect any other partnerships or any other projects with Mercedes anytime soon?
Well, this partnership with Mercedes is a doozy. This is a big one.
Oh yeah.
In a good way. It's a heavy one. The trust that they've had in me to assemble a team, to execute my vision that I pitched to them, to co-invest with them, to materialize it and make it real. Mm. Out of all the partnerships that I've had with companies in the past, I've never seen anything at this level. Yeah, so I've never seen a big company like Mercedes collaborate with an artist or someone outside of the traditional, realm that they're in. Take on an idea that was pitched to them, trust their team assembly, co-collaborate, co-invest, and deploy into their fleet. When is the last time that's happened?
Yeah.
And so, from that perspective, I think this collaboration is a blessing. So before I start thinking about other ones down the line, this is the jam. This is the one.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, sound is so important when it comes to a car. Music, the sound of the engine, the sound of the road, it all makes a car, and especially for people who love driving, but even for people who are just driving to and from work, it is still so important. I feel like something like this could be, undertaken by maybe the whole automotive sector. It's at the moment I feel like there's a limit, but this kind of technology does, like you said, it opens it up. Now, I want to talk with you about your car history because I've never seen a history like it. You obviously love your cars, you love customization, and just like your music, I feel like a car is an extension of you. Um, you've had custom VW Beetles with V8s and Teslas. Where does a project like this start? Do you wake up and just have an idea, or is it more of a collaborative process?
So for the Tesla, with being respectful to my partnership with Mercedes, just make sure when I say this, I put the AMG logo there. So when I was working on the Tesla AMG logo,
I love it.
yeah,
You gotta stay diplomatic. We love Mercedes.
I was working on the sorry, when I was working on the Tesla in 2000, so I invested in Tesla in 2006, turning 7, and when they just had the Roadster,
Yeah.
and right when Elon took over the company, I asked to get access to a rolling chassis so I could build
Okay.
a new thing on it. And because the company was, small, not many people had Teslas. I had the first Tesla in LA, and then
Okay.
first one of the first sedans in LA. And so I just wanted to reimagine the body, the form, and change the interior.
Mm.
And so I remember when I finished the rocket, the black one,
Yeah.
came over and I showed it to him. And so that was, you know, really, really, really awesome to be able to show a design as Tesla was taking off to Elon.
Mm.
And there's the guy that built that um, the rocket that then moved to work at Team Tesla. So one of the guys that was responsible for the build now is working at Tesla and helped build the Roadster, the one that hasn't came out yet.
Yeah.
So I built other things in the past. I call it the monster, the blue Volkswagen with the V8.
Yeah.
Uh, my dream thing that I always wanted to do when I was, a teenager. I wanted to flip a bug. Like, yo, man, can't wait to customize a bug. And it's the first one I've ever did. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
It's an art piece.
What a way to start.
Yeah, but they're great building blocks.
Yeah.
It's a great platform to mess around with. And there's no when you're doing things like that, there's no such thing as right or wrong. It's just fun
Mm.
to play, to dream, to build, to have a good time with other engineers and create. It's like we used to do that as kids when you colored. Hey, yo, let's color. Mom, where's my crayons? I want to color. There's something beautiful about just creating stuff. And it comes out, you're excited. It's a passion thing. You're passionate about it. You can't wait for it to be complete so you can take it for a drive. And that I enjoy that type of creative process. So I built 5 cars. The Monster, the will.i.am.
Yes.
I gave that car to J Balvin. The Rocket, the Thundervet. I did a remix of a Corvette and a Thunderbird. Um, and then I did the spade, the Pearl, whatever the name was, the white Tesla
Yeah. Yeah.
sedan. And at the time, the sedan was just out. It was just out. And then I did the will.i AMG, the flip dome.
Yes. Yeah.
And that project was to raise capital to build robotics teams in inner cities. So
Yes.
the premise of the build was to auction it off. And when Mercedes saw the level of build it was, where I took a 4-door, turned it into a 2-door, elongated the front by moving the A pillar and taking out the B pillar, they went and vetted my team. Like, hey, wow, you funded the build, you assembled the team, you got some, you know how to find talent. And so when it came to doing the sound drive, they knew I had team assembly skills. You know, I know how to go out and find engineers, collaborate with different disciplines to materialize concepts.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So we'll pull it back to Mercedes, out of respect. Um, you were saying how Mercedes is one of these manufacturers that they just put dreams together. They have the right people and the right attitude. I know you're a huge fan of Formula One. I'd love to know your thoughts on do you think Mercedes is going into this year optimistically with Formula One? Are you optimistic about Mercedes' performance?
With engineering, yes, they're the best engineers on earth. And Lewis Hamilton is one of the best drivers that ever existed. So yeah, I'm super optimistic. And Toto's an amazing leader.
Yeah, yeah,
George is fearless and one of the nicest guys I've ever met. George, amazing cat. So yeah, I'm super optimistic. They have an awesome team. They know what's at stake. And if Lewis gets a win, that's historical. So
yeah,
yeah, a lot for not only Lewis to accomplish as far as the history books, Mercedes to accomplish that as well. Because it's going to take a
yeah,
long time for somebody to beat that once Lewis has that in the bag. So this is a legendary moment for Lewis, for the sport, and for Mercedes. And when Lewis does it, it's going to take a long time for Max to catch up. Even though
yeah.
this is awesome, don't get me wrong. But when Lewis has it in the bag, it's going to take Max some years.
I love it. I love it. You and Lewis are close, and I would love to know, when you first met Lewis, what was it that you saw in him, or did you see something in him that made you think, God, he is a force to be reckoned with? Like, what was it? Can you pinpoint that feeling?
I met Lewis in November 2007, and we were doing the MTV Music Awards, and me and Nicole Scherzinger were in the VIP section. And a friend of mine, a dear friend of mine now, did the after party, and he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, there's this F1 driver that wants to meet you and Nicole." The guy that introduced me to Lewis is a guy by the name of Toby. And so at that point in time, I introduced Lewis to Nicole. And Lewis, and through Nicole, I became friends with Lewis.
Right.
That introducing those two together. And when I met him, I'm like, wait, there's black F1 racers? And they're like, yo, this guy is an amazing driver. He's gonna win it. He's gonna change the game. It's 2007. And boy did he.
Okay.
Boy did he. And Lewis Hamilton, it's kind of not fair that he's that good and he sings amazing. Seriously, I've been in the studio with him. Like, Lewis is an amazing singer. Like, amazing. Not even,
Okay.
oh, you're kind of good. Like, yo,
Oh, damn.
for real, bro. Lewis is no joke with the vocals.
Okay. Oh, that's annoying. How can someone be so talented? That's really annoying. I love that.
And he's the kind of cat, like, if he comes on stage with you, he's probably going to out vocal you.
Wow.
If you introduce him to your girlfriend, she going to think he's hot. If you're in a car, he's gonna outrace you. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
not fair, bro. Like, come on, suck at something.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really I'm glad I don't work with them now. Okay. Wow, that's inspiring. Thanks for telling me that. That's really interesting. I mean, he's had the last couple of years has been a mental struggle for him. Things didn't turn out his way in 2021, and since then he's been struggling with a car he doesn't quite align with.
First
Uh,
off, things didn't turn out his way in 2021 because of his performance,
no, I don't believe so.
right? So anybody will struggle with something being snatched, and it's just a matter of time for him to wait. He just has to figure it out once, and history's made. So I say we just let the master do what he's really good at, and he's figured it out a bunch of times, and this one time is going to be historical, and
Yep.
it's historical for him first, all the folks that have been inspired by him, the the flock, the school, the herd that's going to come after him. It's going
Yep.
to be historical for the sport. It's going to be historical for Mercedes. And all it is him figuring how to, he has to figure it out once. And I think he's going to do that. And then the person that comes after him, it's going to be some years for that record to be broke. And he will hold that forever. So everyone, there's this one quote. Uh, Somebody does a there's 8 mathematical questions. They get 1 through 9 right. They get 1 wrong. Everybody laughs and makes fun of that one they got wrong and never rewards or applauds or salute them on the 9 they got right. Eventually, they're going to get 10 right. Meanwhile, everyone's afraid to even take a freaking test and judgmental and critical. And the moment they do, they're probably going to get 3 right and 7 wrong. And the next time that person that got 9 right, 1 wrong is going to get 10 right. And history will be made. And yeah, and anybody's going to have an upset like that when history should have been made already. Actually, history was made, right?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I agree.
It has already been made, and now there's this like prove it process, this theft process that he has to undergo. The semantics. This, you know, you're not going to get it that easy. He was like, "What do you mean easy? I already did it."
I love that. Yeah. No, he's been dealt hands of cards. I've never seen an athlete or anyone actually use what cards he's been given like he has. You know, the way he has taken everything in his stride and learned from everything, and not that he should have learned from anything, but it's just reflected so incredibly well on him as an athlete and as a person. I think inspiring, truly inspiring.
I'm curious to know, like, when he's back race preparing, like, what's going on in his mind. I'm always curious because he seems so uh, focused all the time,
Yeah,
and it's the same way he's when he's in the studio. He's quiet, focused. I remember working with him in the studio. I'm like, go in the booth. I'm like, wow, this dude's what a force. And it's the same. I'm curious to know, like, Lewis in the studio singing vocals is the same type of like inward thinking happening for him back race or when he's
Mm.
in the car getting ready to take off. If it's the same mind,
Yeah.
but the same because what a mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Certainly. Definitely. Are you have you ever tried to persuade him to push him to release his music? Because I know he loves his music, but apart from a few Instagram lives, we've never actually heard anything. And we'd love to.
Imagine you were like, all right, Alex, go out there and make history. You'd be like, wait, right now? Yeah, do it right now, Alex. You got to go out there and make history, bro. This one's for the history books. Go out there and do it. Anybody,
Yeah.
you at home watching this on your phone, on your freaking laptop, your desktop, wherever you're at, go out there and make history. Do it right now. It's a daunting thing for anybody to be like, yo, I'm about to do that right now. Especially when you know you already did it. You already know in your heart and your mind, and a whole lot of other people know it too. You already did it. Now you're asked to do it again. Then everybody's like super critical on the machine he has to use to do it again. And we know the machine is not the way it was when he did it the last time. For some reason, the rules changed and he has to do it again. And when he does it again, not only is it historical, it's like, damn, you had to jump through a hoop. And then after you jump through the hoop, they changed the rules. Now you got to jump through a hoop. With the fucking hula hoop on? You got to jump through a hoop with the hula hoop. You hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
I
lot of
get
hoop.
it. That is. This. Okay. Final question. I mean, thank you so much for this. This has been really good. Final question. You talked about Lewis getting into the zone, and staying positive is such a huge part of that. How do you go into something, a project, whether it be a car or a project like this with Mercedes? How do you maintain that motivation, the will to just win, and also stay optimistic about it? Where is your mindset with that?
It's a delicate balance between taking things lightly and heavy all at the same time. Can't take everything so personal, but then at the same time, you can't be careless. So you have to like care deeply um, while remaining this attitude of, I cannot. You have to, okay, imagine there's a bear that loves this bee, and the bee has a lint on its wing, and the bear tells the bee, get over here. Let me get that lint off your wing. No matter what the bear does, as gentle as it is, it cannot take the lint off with his hands. It'll crush the fucking bee. No matter if the bear goes, it's gonna blow that motherfucking bee away. So the bear has to be very strategic and gentle to help the bee get the lint off his wing. You have to it's a very delicate thing with any type of project. You could be a caring bear and you could care so much that you crush it. But you can't neglect it. You have to figure out the best way to nurture, protect, advise, support, give it freedom to grow how it needs to grow. Can't smother it. You can't suck the oxygen off. You can't drown it, right? You have to provide water without drowning it. It's a very delicate um, uh, stepping when you're bringing something to life.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. Thank you.
It's gonna be a Disney cartoon.
I hope so. I hope you voice the bear. That's all I'm saying.
Get your little beat.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. It's been truly brilliant listening to everything you've had to say. And again, thank you for your time and thank you for coming on video with us. Really appreciate it. It's been amazing.
Thank you. Thanks, Alex. Hey, make history.